Hi again, everybody. Welcome to Inside Golf. I'm Harry Donahue. Today at the historic Philadelphia Cricket Club in Flourtown, Pennsylvania, the Wissahickon Course and Militia Hill recently hosted the 48th annual PGA of America Professional National Championship. This was an event that began with more than 300 golfers from around the country. After the first 2 days of competition, the field was reduced, but there was another cut for only play on Wednesday. And out of those low 70 in the field, the top 20 finishers would make it to the PGA Championship of America later this summer in Whistling Straits. And the winner, in addition to going to the PGA of America, would also get 6 tour exemptions for 2016. How did the Cricket Club courses hold up? We'll find out from the field of more than 300. And we'll also check the status of 13 members of the Philadelphia section of the PGA of America to see whether or not they punched a ticket to the PGA Championship. It's all coming up next right here on Inside Golf. Inside Golf, presented by PGN Plus. Play your golf bucket list. By Jersey Man Magazine, it's a Jersey way of life, and Philly Man Magazine, bringing it to Broad Street. And by the Philadelphia Section PGA, experts in the game and business of golf.
Along with being stewards of the game of golf, your local PGA professional wears many hats.
We are teachers.
We are players.
We are managers.
We are merchandisers.
And community leaders.
But we all wear one badge.
PGA professionals are well-trained experts who work hard to share the joy of golf with our neighbors for over 90 years. To find your local PGA professional, visit phillypga.com. Brought to you by the Philadelphia section of the PGA.
We are the experts in the game and business of golf.
Well, gentlemen, very familiar with this professional national championship of the PGA of America is Jack Connolly, because he was the one-time president of the PGA of America. Does this bring back a lot of nice memories?
It does. Anytime you're with your peers throughout the United States, it's a great chance to see what the players do and how much they enjoy it. I mean, I've been here 2 days, and I can't imagine nobody loving it. All of the past champions say it's the best venue they've ever had in a 48-year history. You don't normally play a facility that's good and then one that's so-so, but both facilities here are just absolutely spectacular.
That's amazing, yeah. Everybody loves the place.
Everybody loves it. What not to love? It's in great condition. Jimmy and his crew here at Philadelphia Cricket have done a wonderful job, and it'll be interesting to see what happens tomorrow and Wednesday when they get to play the Wissahickon twice.
I'm curious, from your perspective, what would you like to see everybody look back and reflect on the event here at Philly Cricket?
That their time in Philadelphia was, one, enjoyable because of Jeff Surrett and his crowd, the section taking care of it, all of the volunteers that Jimmy was able to get, and just being a wow experience for all of the players. Because when you come in from California, you want to be able to play a nice facility, and when you go home and tell people how great Philadelphia is and how great Philadelphia cricket is, then that helps everybody in the game of golf.
And it's great for these pros. 312, I think, started. The field will be cut twice, and when it's all said and done, the winner gets a nice check, gets also a tour exemption for next year for 6 events, and the top 20 finishers get to play in the PGA Championship. That's a pretty nice payday for everybody.
It is. Plus, they also get points toward the PGA Cup matches. Next year, because it's a Ryder Cup, then they'll take the low 8, but the winner this year will be exempt into the PGA Cup matches next year. And that's a big thing, too, where you represent your country. It's a club professional version of the Ryder Cup.
Jack, always a pleasure.
Thank you, Harry. Nice being with you.
One gentleman who is kind of dealing with all the logistics and everything else going on here at Philadelphia Cricket Club is the head professional, Jim Smith Jr. And Jim, you know, I know leading up to this event, it was a lot of it on your shoulders, making sure it would be a smooth week here at Philly Cricket. How's it gone so far?
It's been great. I mean, we've gotten a phenomenal turnout on the volunteer end. I think we ended up with somewhere just under 600 volunteers, roughly half of which were members and half are from, you know, the golfing community in Philadelphia. We've got awesome teamwork with the staff. I mean, basically it's an all hands on deck type of an event. You know, PGA of America has been fantastic in supporting what we're trying to do, and they basically gave us the blueprint. So at this point, you know, my job the last couple of days has just been kind of walking around and troubleshooting a little bit and making sure everything's going smooth.
Courses look like they're in great condition.
Oh, Dan Mearsman and his crew deserve all the credit in the world. I mean, they're as good as it gets in the industry, and they got this golf course to the point where a lot of the players are just amazed at the fact that they're playing such a good golf course after such a heavy rain.
Tell us, when it's all over, what will be the one thing you hope people take from this event at Philadelphia Cricket?
I think our membership wanted the world to kind of see what we're lucky enough and privileged enough to get to enjoy every day. And I know that the TV coverage, I actually said this in a Golf Channel interview, we're going to have a lot of people who look at the place on television. And I hope that they feel like I do when I see a place on TV, which is, I got to see that live. That place looks so awesome. That's what I hope we get. I hope people, understand and enjoy what we're getting to enjoy every day.
Well, it looks like so far so good, and a lot of it goes right back to the pro shop. Thank you.
Thank you. Appreciate it, Harry. Good to see you.
Joe Giuliano is here. Why not? He is the golf writer for the Philadelphia Inquirer. Joe, how many of these PNCs have you covered in your career?
Well, this is my maiden voyage, Harry. It's my first one. They had it at Hershey a few years back, but I didn't get there, so I'm glad to be here at the Cricket Club.
All right, we're here day 2, actually, so this is a cut-down day for some people. And what were your impressions of what you saw yesterday vis-a-vis the 2 courses, Militia Hill and Wissahickon?
Well, Militia Hill played easier, obviously, as far as the stroke average went. It was about a 2.5 to 3 stroke difference. Wissahickon, the lowest score here in the first round was 1 under par, so obviously it was playing pretty tough, and the conditions have been really good despite all the rain we had on Saturday.
Dozen or so local professionals from the Philadelphia section involved. We just saw one of them, Rusty Harbaugh, put a great second shot in here to this 18th pin, which is a tough one, and he's got a chance for a rare birdie opportunity.
Yeah, it's kind of a sucker pin, and he went right at it and hit it about 6-7 feet, so that's a great shot. But Rusty is a darn good player. Won the Haverford Trust a couple years back, and really is one of the better players in our section.
Always a pleasure, Joe.
Thanks, Harry.
And Rusty did make that birdie putt, finishing on the day 3 under par here at Wissahickon. And after 2 rounds, Rusty in great shape at the PNC. He is 3 over par. He's going to be hanging around.
The focus, the feel, the friends. Golf isn't just a game, it's an experience, and PGN Plus invites you to experience golf like never before. PGN Plus provides golfers with access to the area's exclusive private courses, and for existing country club members, PGN Plus enhances your membership with intra-club reciprocal play. Select your course, book your tee time, and play the best private clubs the area has to offer. Create your free account today. Visit pgnplus.com, your invitation to private golf.
Well, welcome back to Inside Golf. We are at the PNC event here at the Philadelphia Cricket Club. Jeff Surrett is the executive director of the Philadelphia section of the PGA. It's finally here, huh? It's showtime.
Unbelievable. It's been fantastic. It's it's been 8 or 9 months since we knew what was going to go down, but now it's here and it's in super form, in great form. So.
Yeah, and of course we expected the course and conditions to be excellent. We were always wondering what would the outsiders say that maybe haven't played a lot of golf here. From what I'm hearing, they love both tracks.
Every player that we've talked to has been so complimentary of the golf course and the condition. The golf course is holding up really, really well, and by the scores you can see there's a couple of low ones, there's a couple high ones, but it's a true test of golf, and kudos to Dan Mearsman and his staff on the job they've done with the golf course.
So what do you do during the competition? I know you got your walkie-talkie. What did Jeff Surrett do? I mean, do you get a, what do you call it, busman's holiday or no?
Yeah, well, we get a radio to look really official and really important. It doesn't really work. But, for us, it's working with the staff here at Cricket, working with the staff, the PGA of America staff, on what they need. We have national leaders that are in town, talking to them. We have some other section staff that have come in from around the country, which has been great. So, being the host section, we take that as a responsibility to do the right thing for our section and represent our 900 members as best we can.
You have, 13 players teed off in the round 1, so hopefully you get a couple of those guys or more into that final day. That'd be nice.
It would be great. We do have some folks that are playing well, a couple of guys that aren't playing so good, but that's part of the deal. So hopefully once the cut's made today, we'll have a good number of those folks playing the next couple of days. It'll be great.
Okay, congratulations.
All right, thanks so much.
Rusty, the last time I saw you, we were about half a mile away over at Sunnybrook, which is adjacent to this complex, and you had a big payday that day with the Haverford Trust Open. You won that. Now you come back here to this area of Philadelphia, and bingo.
Yeah.
Looks like you're going to make a move today. Great round today. 3 under par here at Wissahickon.
Thank you very much. Yeah, just hit the ball well today compared to yesterday. I struggled a little bit in the other course. But
Well, we saw your shot here on 18, your second shot. Tell us about that. It was by far the best one we saw out of about 15 attempts.
yeah, I wish I could say I was aiming at the pin, but I was actually aiming middle of the green right here and pushed it about 10 yards. And luckily it worked out. I looked up and it was headed right at the pin. I was just hoping it carried the bunker, and it did, and worked out well. So
Tough little putt, too.
It was a downhill, moving a little bit left, about 6 feet, and I just picked out a line, hit a good putt, and it ended up being the right read.
We talked about that wind we had here a couple years ago. Do you draw on that experience when you're in a competition like this?
You do. I mean, everything's different. Every competition plays different, but just the experience of coming down the back nine and playing a good round of golf and being there before and feeling the nerves. I mean, I definitely was still nervous out there, but you get a little more accustomed to it the more you play and learn how to just play with the nerves.
You got much of an entourage with you?
I got a few family and friends over there, and my new wife is out there with her brother and her cousin. So, yeah, it's nice to be local in the area, get a look around and see some familiar faces. So,
Well, good luck to you. Congratulations again on a great round, and good luck the rest of the week.
Thanks. I appreciate it. Thank you.
John Pillar is president of the Philadelphia section of the PGA of America. He's also the director of golf up at Woodloch. And now he's sitting in a pretty good spot after 2 rounds here at the PNC. John, 144, 73, 71. What was going for you right these past couple days?
Well, I think I drove the ball very well the last 2 days. I got a new shaft in my driver from Nike Golf, and I think I missed 1 fairway today, 2 or 3 yesterday, which really helps. You have to keep the ball in play, and then I just stayed patient. So the golf course is starting to get its teeth back, and playing Wissahickon yesterday with 3 over, I was quite a few over and finished fairly strong, and then today just stayed patient and made some birdies early. Maintain that and just let one go on the last hole, but it's a hard golf hole.
What was your mindset? Because Wissahickon, I think, is probably the harder of the 2 courses. Most people would say that. So did you look to make up some ground at Militia Hill?
Well, I think when you looked at the scoreboard, Militia Hill seemed to be where the lower scores were going. So, that was the mindset of you've got 4 par 5s, so worst case scenario, you can get some wedges in your hand, and then there's a number of holes over there that give you more scoring opportunities. So, yeah, that was the option, the thought process out of the gate. You know, the golf courses, both of them are going to get much more difficult with this wind and things drying up. So that's the thought process right now.
I overheard you telling Mike Kern and Joe Giuliano that you didn't maybe have a chance to see this coming because you've had a pretty full plate with this and everything else in your life.
Yeah, I've had an active couple of weeks right now. My oldest boy just graduated from high school a week ago, so we had a party the week before that. Had a Folds of Honor event that took the whole weekend. We honored our military and recognized a local hero who was killed in '06. We had a New York Yankees AAA affiliation outing the week right before that. So, yeah, things have been active and busy and trying to juggle the responsibilities as the president for the section here amongst the facility at Cricket Club and with PGA. And then obviously back at home at Woodloch Springs, which they've done a great job in allowing me to get away and be focal.
Sitting in a pretty good spot. Final question. Philadelphia Cricket Club is really getting a lot of accolades from a lot of people I've talked to, not just Philadelphia people who know this golf course and facility, but people from around the country.
Yeah, it's showing its colors today. Arguably, I would say it's one of the finest golf facilities in our region, and that region spreading in the northeast of the United States. What they've done here and how the memberships open their arms to this event and going forward to some USGA events and even the senior tour, I think is the doorway to getting some really big-time golf back here in the Philadelphia area. And I hope it is the beginning of something really, really great. Not only great for golf, great for the PGA, but also the Philadelphia market.
Well, speaking of doorways, I hope that door is wide open for you to get out to Whistling Straits.
That's the goal. Thank you very much.
Thanks, John. Well, as you can tell from behind me, Golf Channel was here on site for the entire 4 days of competition at the Cricket Club, and we'll be back to see more from the Professional National Championship at Philly Cricket. But next up, it's time to get teed off. That's next on Inside Golf. If you haven't seen it already, I'd like to introduce you to Jersey Man magazine, published by former Eagle tight end Ken Dunnick. It's the only men's magazine in our area. Enjoy articles on cigars, martinis, the mob, business, politics, and of course, golf. Written by big-time journalists like George Anastasia, Bill Lyon, Sam Carchidi, and many others. Subscriptions are only $20 a year and are available at jerseymanmagazine.com.
We're rolling out the action and bringing it all to the table. So go all in with endless ways to win. Join us for the area's hottest happy hour with double the action at half the price. Only at Valley Forge Casino Resort.
Welcome back. Inside Golf continues. It's time for our Teed Off segment. And today we're back at the beautiful Valley Forge Casino Resort in King of Prussia with our Teed Off panel. Bob Shepard is here. Bob, longtime PGA professional in Philadelphia. He's an author and just loves to talk about the game whatever chance he has. Mike Kern does the same thing. He writes about golf for the Philadelphia Daily News, in addition to his myriad of other sports.
And I'll talk about anything, anywhere, anytime.
He'll talk about anything you want. And Ken Dunnick, publisher of Jersey Man, Philly Man magazine, former Philadelphia Eagle, and he makes me look like Mike Kern sitting here. No, I'm only kidding.
And I love to talk about myself,
so
but we'll
big.
fit some golf in here somewhere. Okay?
Absolutely. We're talking golf rules, guys. Now, that's Tom Karpus's main topic whenever he's on Inside Golf. Tom's the pro at Kennett Square. Also, though, he's vice chairman of the Rules Committee for the PGA of America, and he knows them forwards, backwards, and in between. And we've all had a lot of good times with Tom Karpus. But, Shep, today's question is, if you were king and you were in charge of rules for the USGA and RNA and all that stuff, would there be one or two rules that you would like to see just go away?
Yeah, back when the dinosaurs still ruled the planet, and I played competitive golf, we used to, ball marks were an issue, okay? And fixing them, everybody's pointing and doing this. Well, we talked ourselves in those days to say that a ball mark was actually help a bad putt. And you can't believe how much you would believe that when you're playing and how often it would correct a bad putt.
Now, so it wouldn't necessarily take it offline, you mean, if you rolled over it?
Most people complain, oh, I got a ball mark between me and the cup. But we would say, well, that's pure luck. That ball's going to pop in the air and it's going to track right into the cup. And you'd be surprised once you talk yourself into it, that rule really calmed down. It calmed a lot of guys down, and you end up playing a little bit better. The other one that held true in those days, and it was a lot worse than it is today, is the divot rule. And in those days, you were putting loose divots back. And we did the same thing there. We talked ourselves into believing that that didn't make a damn bit of difference because we're going to hit it with a club. The club's built for hitting a golf ball. So regardless of what material you put it on, you're going to get the same type of shot. Again, if you sit and look, you'd force them, you would start laughing. Because you'd drive down the middle of the fairway and find a divot, and everybody would look at you and sneer at you, and then you get up and throw one in there about 4 or 5 feet, and they'd all start laughing, and then they'd go up and say, now which divot do you want to return, you know? Because you'd have 2 divots flying all over the place. So that's the rules. I would try to change that rule, the divot rule.
So you want to actually go back to the way it used to be?
Well, it's a ground under repair rule is what I'd play it as, and I don't think it'll ever go there, but that's what I would imagine anyhow.
How about you, Mike?
Well, yeah, the divot in the fairway definitely is stupid. You should not have to play out of somebody's divot just because you drove the ball 300 yards straight down the middle. That to me is whatever. But stroke and distance off the tee to me is a stupid. For the average golfer to speed up, play, do whatever. If I hit a 250-yard drive that goes out of bounds, okay, you go up to where it went out and you drop a ball and you're playing 3. I don't see the big deal of why now I'm hitting 3 off the tee. For the pros, maybe, I don't know, maybe that makes sense, but I've always felt it was weird that somebody on the tee could whiff and would be hitting 2, and I could hit a 300-yard drive out of bounds by this much and be hitting 3.
So you're basically saying you treat it like a lateral hazard.
Just if you hit it, go place it nearest where you think it went out of bounds, at least for the average golfer. Maybe not for a pro, but to speed up play and just play it from there, it's a penalty stroke. You took a penalty. This way, to me, you're taking 2 penalty shots, kind of.
Sounds very logical, and as we know, sometimes those rules don't follow the rules of logic. What about you, Kenny?
Well, to Mike's point, I mean, certainly that would help the pace of play, which is an ongoing concern with golf. But also, you know, I've gone to the long putter, and that is outlawed next year, and even for amateurs and local events, which I find hard to believe. If they want to take it against,
as long as you anchor it, you can
Right.
still use it.
You can still use
but
it,
you
but I
can't
mean,
anchor it to your body.
But really, the key thing about it is anchoring it, and so you
you're a
remain
cheater.
still.
No, I didn't mean to say
I will be a cheater as of January 1st, but those are the two things that come to mind.
Okay.
Well, they won't let Sam Snead putt, what was it, side saddle?
Side saddle, yeah.
Well, I have a friend that putts.
To me,
side
I
saddle.
never understood, you know, why you couldn't do that.
That was a Joe Dye and he were having a little tiff.
You can do it as long as you stand to the side of the ball.
Right.
Yeah, right.
He used to straddle the ball.
Exactly.
Right? Yeah.
He moved
And you
his
can't
foot
do
back. He
that.
was all right. Yeah.
Getting back to your rule about fixing ball mark. Okay, you're allowed to fix a ball mark, but you can't fix a spike mark. Now, what's the difference?
Well, and then the other thing, a lot of that spike mark stuff went away when they abolished using metal spikes.
But they can still leave an imprint, and there are some guys that still use metal spikes.
Exactly.
Right?
Lee Jansen, I think, got thrown out of the Open for a penalty, wasn't it? Didn't he get
For
disqualified?
fixing a spike mark? I never understood that. What's the difference?
Well, it's purely cosmetic, I think. But in my mind as a player, I used to love spikes because I could walk up and down wet hills. I could go places that others can't and not fall down. When they took the spikes away, Harry Hammond fell down on the first hole at Glen Eagles. First time he ever wore the studded shoes, and he slipped, you know.
The other thing
so
is
the spikes are very good for walking.
we have to wrap it. Another pet peeve I have is in a bunker, and your ball lands in a foot mark. Right. You didn't cause it, but somebody else did, and yet you can't do anything about it.
Right.
Or if you play at Pine Valley, there are no rakes, so you do hit out of some foot marks at Pine Valley.
But if you're playing at Pine Valley, you don't care because you're playing at Pine Valley.
That's a great way to end our segment. Thank you to Bob, Mike, and Ken. Inside Golf returns with more in a moment. The Valley Forge Casino Resort is the region's only full amenity gaming resort, and it's only seconds from the Pennsylvania Turnpike at King of Prussia. It features 600 slots, 50 table games, and there are nearly 500 guest rooms, plus 8 restaurants designed to meet all of your dining needs. So put the beautiful Valley Forge Casino Resort on your destination list.
Got a young golfer in the family? Whether their dream is to grab a national ranking or just have more fun on the golf course, sign them up for the Philly PGA Junior Tour this summer. It's competitive play on premier courses for boys and girls 18 and younger throughout Pennsylvania, New Jersey, and Delaware. Perfect for gearing up for the next high school or collegiate golf season. Available to both new and competitive golfers. Registration now open year-round. Help your young golfers find or improve their game. Sign them up today at phillyjuniortour.com.
Welcome back to Inside Golf as we wrap up our couple days here at the Philadelphia Cricket Club and the Professional National Championship. Keep in mind that there were 5 Philadelphia area professionals who made it to the last round of competition and a chance to fulfill a dream by playing in this year's PGA Championship. Those 5 included Rusty Harbold and John Pillar, plus Wild Quail Director of Instruction John Lynch, and Marion assistant Robbie Bruns. And the 5th, Gulf Mills assistant pro Josh Rackley, who earlier this summer won the Haverford Golf Classic at nearby Sunnybrook. Josh, so close, couple putts, maybe the difference of moving on, huh?
Yeah, I missed 4 putts inside 10 feet on the backside. I had a 3 under through 10, and I was hitting the ball great all day. I just missed a couple putts coming in.
1 under on this final round, and to get this far, I know it's disappointing maybe you don't get to the final 20. But when you look at it, a field of 312, and you were out here on the last day trying to get in there and almost made it.
Yeah, there was definitely the goal of making the cut, play for the money, having the chance to give yourself a chance to go to the top 20, go to the PGA Championship out of Whistling. So it's too bad I didn't make it this year, but it's always next year. And I'm only 25, so I have a bunch of years ahead of me.
It's been a pretty good summer, right? With everything that happened about a mile away from here at Sunnybrook and that Haverford Philadelphia Classic. Got a nice paycheck and coming here, playing in the PNC and getting to the final day.
Yeah, it's been a pretty good summer so far. Sunnybrook, that's still surreal to me. It hasn't really sunk in. Have the money in the bank, just don't know what to do with it yet. But yeah, it's an honor playing in this field against the best club pros in the nation. Making the final day is an honor. making the top 40 in the tournament, still pretty good. So I'm hitting the ball great right now. I think it's just a matter of time before I make some putts.
You got your whole life ahead of you, buddy. Those putts are going to start dropping, all right?
I love it. Thank you.
Right. This is the Walter Hagen Cup. Somebody today is going to walk away from the cricket club with this beautiful trophy, and the man presenting him to him will be Derek Sprague, the president of the PGA of America. All things considered, how did the week go?
It's been a fantastic week. Of course, it's an outdoor sport, so the elements come into play every now and then. We snuck it in yesterday, the third round, and then got a glorious day here for the final round. We got a great leaderboard. We've got some fans coming out to watch the final round here, and not only will they get this beautiful crystal here, the Walter Hagen Cup, but the champion today will be bringing a check home of $75,000. They'll have a spot on the PGA Cup team, which plays later this fall, which is the equivalent to the Ryder Cup for the club professionals, and they'll have 6 PGA Tour exemptions, so they'll be able to play in 6 PGA Tour events.
Not bad. This, for club pros, is the highlight of the year, and for those 19 other guys that finished in the top 20. A spot in the upcoming PGA Championship.
Yeah, that's true. So there's a lot of storylines here, not only for the champion, but for, as you mentioned, those top 20. They'll qualify to play and they'll advance to play in the PGA Championship this August at Whistling Straits. So that's going to be just a great championship up there. The ticket sales are tremendous. Corporate hospitality is tremendous. And I think, for PGA professionals, this really is the pinnacle of their career to be able to participate in that major championship.
Whistling Straits, a little bit different venue from Militia Hill, and in particular, the restored Wissahickon course here at Philly Cricket. Your thoughts on this golf course?
Ever since I came down here for Media Day, I was so excited to get back to this great classic course here, the Wissahickon. I never had the good opportunity to see it before the renovation, but I can tell you the renovations are just fantastic. And in comparing it to Whistling Straits, one thing that the PGA of America always does is looks for a great test of golf for the best players in the world, whether it's the best players in the world for our PGA Championship or for the best players in our association here at their national championship. We always model this event after our PGA Championship because our members, that's why we exist. We're the PGA of America.
Derek, good luck. Thanks for coming to Philadelphia, and best for a great summer out there at Whistling Straits.
Okay, great. Thanks very much.
So who won the Hagen Trophy? Well, in a wild finish with a 2-shot lead going to the 18th, Ben Polland hit his second shot into the water. Finished with a double bogey. Then watched his playing partner, Matt Dommins, birdie that final hole to capture his second PNC title in the last 3 years. And as President Derek Sprague said, it's been just a wonderful week here at Philadelphia Cricket Club, not just for the competitors, but for all the volunteers and the fans who showed up for this 48th Professional National Championship. And keep in mind, Philadelphia Cricket Club will also be hosting next year the U.S. Men's Senior Open. Our thanks to Jim Smith Jr. and his staff here at Philly Cricket Club. Hope you enjoyed our coverage of this year's Professional National Championship. I'm Harry Donahue. Remember, no matter how bad it's going for you out there, don't pick up. We'll see you next time on Inside Golf. Inside Golf, presented by PGN Plus. Play your golf bucket list. By Jersey Man Magazine. It's a Jersey way of life. And Philly Man Magazine, bringing it to Broad Street. And by the Philadelphia Section PGA. Experts in the game and business of golf.